All right, let's take a look at our practice test. So we're told to solve each word problem. And for problem number 1, we have that Sam owns a hardware store and is offering a big promotion. Customers can decide on taking a discount of 30% off of the original price, or they can take 20% off of the original price and then an additional 12% off of the discounted price. Now we want to know which option results in a better price. And I have a hint here, use $100 and see which is better. So the idea is that if you saw this in the real world, you probably wouldn't use a variable. You would use something like $100 or $1,000 or something like that to quickly go through the different scenarios in your head and see which one is going to give you the better deal. So let's go through this with $100 first, and then we'll do it algebraically and confirm our results. With $100, let's say this is the price of what you're buying. What you would do is in the first scenario, you're taking a discount of 30%. So I would want 30% of $100, and that's going to be 0.3 times 100, which is 30 or $30. So I'm going to take off or subtract away $30. So what is this going to give me? It's going to give me $70. So this is the first scenario. So that's very straightforward. With the second scenario, it's a little bit more tricky because you have 2 calculations to make. The first calculation, and it says it specifically right here, they're going to take 20% off of the original price. So what is 20% of 100? That's going to be 0.2 times 100 or 20. So now with the second scenario, you have $100 minus $20, which gives me $80. But at this point, I'm not done with the discounting process. It now tells me that we have an additional 12% off of the discounted price. So in other words, what I want to do is I want to take this $80 here and I want to continue the process. And I want to say, okay, well, now I'm going to have $80 minus, let me actually put a line here so we can separate this. I'll put first and then I'll put second in terms of the options. What I want to do is take 12% of this discounted price. So that's going to be 80 times 0.12, and that's going to be 9.6, or you could say $9.60. So if I do this subtraction, I end up with $70.40. So when we ask which option results in a better price, the first one does. In the first scenario, I take off a full $30 or a full 30%, and I end up paying $70 for my item. In the second scenario, I'm taking off 29.6%. So it's not the same as the full 30%. And so I end up paying $70.40 for my item. So clearly the 30% one is better. So let's just put 30% off is better. Let's see if we can do this algebraically. What you would do first is let a variable like X just represent the initial price of your item before you take any discounts. So let's put something like let X be equal to the original, we'll just put the original price. Now in the first scenario, remember you're taking off 30%. So what you could do is actually just put 0.7 times X because you're going to end up paying 70%. Or the long way is just to say that you have X, which is the original price, minus you're going to have 0.3 times X, which again is your discount amount. This would be equal to, again, this is a coefficient of 1. So 1 minus 0.3 is 0.7. So this is 0.7x. So 0.7 multiplied by whatever the amount is. Again, in the earlier example, we used 100. So that's how we got 70. So this is what we're going to pay. Now in the other scenario, again, it takes a little bit longer to get. So let me actually put a border here and say, again, this is the first and this is the second. In the second scenario, you have this 1x again, and you're subtracting away. It's 20% off. So let's put 0.2x. So this gives me 0.8x. So from here, you have more calculations to make. So let's just erase this and put the 0.8x. So we have 0.8x. We're taking off an additional 12% from this. So minus the 0.12 times 0.8x. What's this going to give me? 0.12 times 0.8 is 0.096. So let's put 0.096x. And if we do the subtraction, 0.8 minus 0.096 is going to give me 0.704 and then x. So again, if we plugged in 100 there, you would end up with $70.40 or 70.4. So you can see clearly, even if you do this algebraically or if you do it with a number, which is obviously quicker, you're going to get the same result. And the first guy, the one where you're taking 30% off of the original price, is the better deal. All right, let's take a look at problem number 2. So this year, Brad's car lot had $710,500 in total sales. This represents an increase of 45% from the year before. Find the sales from Brad's car lot for the year before. So this is a relatively straightforward problem. I know a lot of people struggle with the percent increase or decrease, but essentially all you want to do is focus on this right here where it says it was an increase of 45% from the year before. Well, what we could do is let X be equal to the sales from the year before. So exactly what we're trying to find. So if we use that as a starting point, let's just say we have X, the sales from the year before. Now there's an increase of 45%. So what I want to do is I want to add 0.45 or 45% as a decimal times X, which again, the sales from the year before. So this would be equal to, again, this number that's given to me right here, which is the $710,500. Again, you could just leave the dollars off for now. Let's come down here and see if we can get a little solution going. You can multiply everything by 100 if you don't want to work with the decimals. It's really up to you. For myself, I'm just going to work with them for this one. So I'm just going to say this is 1.45x is equal to 710,500. Let's divide everything by 1.45. Let's cancel this, and let's say x is equal to, let's punch this into our calculator, and we're going to get 490,000. So that tells me the sales from the year before would be $490,000. So let's come back up here and answer this. I'm just going to put $490,000. Now, there's a lot of ways to check this. If you want to use the formula for determining your percent increase or decrease, remember it's the new value minus the old value over the old value, and then you multiply by 100 to get the percentage. So the new value is 710,500 minus the old value. Again, this was from the year before, so 490,000. This is over the old value, which is 490,000. So let's scoot this down a little bit so we can fit it. Let's just punch this into the calculator. So if you do 710,500 minus 490,000, you're going to get 220,500. And again, we're dividing this by 490,000. If we punch this into the calculator, you're going to get 0.45. And again, if you convert that into a percentage by multiplying by 100, you do see that this is an increase of 45% as given to us in this problem right here. All right, let's take a look at problem number 3. So Ella is a sales clerk at a local grocery store. One day last week, Ella had $1,710 in receipts for goods sold. This amount included the 8% state and local taxes, along with 6% federal taxes. Find the pre-tax amount of the goods sold by Ella for the given day. Okay, so this one is a good one to just think about before you do anything. Let's pretend we're in a grocery store and we walk up to the register, and let's suppose that in this grocery store, there's 8% state and local taxes, and there's also 6% federal taxes. So before I actually scan my item, if I wanted to think about what I'm going to pay, let's just say the cost was $1. I would take that dollar, and then I would say, okay, additionally, I need 8% of this for state and local taxes. So I would multiply 0.08 times 1, which is 8 cents essentially. Then on top of that, I also have this 6% in federal taxes. So again, as a decimal, it's 0.06 times 1, so that's another 6 cents. So I would take the pre-tax amount, which is $1, plus the state taxes, which is 8 cents, plus the federal taxes, which is 6 cents, and I would get a total of $1.14. So that's what we can do, and that's what we'll do here just algebraically. So we're going to let x be equal to exactly what we're trying to find. So the pre-tax amount of the goods sold for that given day. So let's just say pre-tax amount of, we'll say goods sold. So from here, all I need to do is start with that, just like starting with $1. Then plus, I'm going to add on my sales taxes. So 0.08, 8% as a decimal, then times X, whatever the pre-tax amount of the goods sold, whatever that was. Then plus, I also have these other taxes. So that's 6%, that's going to be 0.06, then times X, and this equals, again, the total amount, $1,710. Again, you can just leave the dollar symbol off for now. So what I would do is combine like terms. Again, if you want to clear the decimals, you can just multiply everything by 100. I think I'll probably just skip that for this one. So I'll say this is 1 plus 0.08 plus 0.06, which would be 1.14. So this is 1.14 times x, and this equals 1,710. Let's divide both sides of the equation by 1.14. And so this would cancel. We have x is equal to, let's punch this into the calculator. So 1,710 divided by 1.14, you're going to get 1,500. So coming back up here, we'll just say it's $1,500. And you can easily check this. If you did 1,500 times 0.08, you would get 120. And if you did 1,500 times 0.06, you would get 90. So 90 plus 120 is 210. And then 210 plus 1,500 is going to give you this 1,710 that we were told originally in the problem. So this is our correct answer. It's going to be $1,500 for the amount of pre-tax goods sold by Ella for that given day. All right, let's take a look at problem number 4 now. So we have that at a local tractor dealership, Megan begs the manager to sell a new tractor for an all-inclusive price of $56,838. This amount would include the 8.15% state and local sales taxes, along with other miscellaneous government document and registration fees of $600. If the dealer agrees to this price, how much is the price of the tractor before any taxes or fees? All right, so hopefully you did not struggle with this one too much. The idea is that after paying the state and local taxes and also the registration fee, the total amount comes to this $56,838. So let's just let X be equal to, let's just call it the sticker price or what you would originally pay. Let's go sticker price. So this is before any taxes or fees are applied. So how will we get an equation? Well, you start with the sticker price and then you add to this, you have the state and local sales taxes. So it's just 0.0815 as a decimal times whatever the sticker price is. Then on top of that, we have these fees that the government charges for the document and registration of $600. So let's put 600 there. And when we add all these amounts together, we know the final price, or the price out the door, as a lot of people say, would be $56,000. So $56,838. Okay, so let's put a 1 here for clarity. So 1 plus 0.0815 would just be 1.0815. And then this is times X, and then plus 600 equals, again, the 56,838. So from here, let's subtract 600 away from each side of the equation. This is going to cancel. We'll have 1.0815x is equal to 56,838 minus 600 is going to be 56,238. Now to isolate x here, let's divide both sides of the equation by 1.0815. So over here, we're dividing by 1.0815. So we know this is going to cancel, and we'll say x is equal to 56,238 divided by 1.0815 is going to be 52,000. So 52,000 is our answer. That's going to be the original price before any of the sales taxes or other fees. So let me put $52,000 here as the answer. And again, you can always check it by just going back through it. So first, let's find 8.15% of 52,000. So 0.0815 is the decimal times 52,000 is going to give you 4,238. Let me just write that down. So 4,238. So this is going to be your taxes. Let me just put T for taxes. And then we know we have $600 in additional fees. Again, if you add these two amounts together, you get the 4,838. And if you add that to your 52,000, you're right back to your 56,838. So this answer is correct. It's going to be $52,000 for the price of the tractor before any taxes or fees. All right, let's take a look at problem number 5. So Amanda works as a salesperson for a local jewelry store. She earns a salary of $650 per week plus a 28% commission on all of her sales. She is currently paying an income tax rate of 35%, which includes all state, local, and federal taxes. Additionally, she has $115.50 taken out of each check for healthcare insurance. 1 week, her check after all taxes and other deductions was $5,585. How much merchandise did she sell for that week? So we want to figure out how much merchandise she sold for the week. So let's let X be equal to that. So let X be equal to merchandise. So merchandise sold. We'll just put that there. Well, what I would do is I would start out, we're given her total income after all these deductions. So in other words, her take-home pay. Well, we know that's $5,585. But where does this come from? It comes from this $650 that she gets as a base salary. So let's just start with that. Then plus, she gets 28% commission on all of her sales. Well, X represents the merchandise sold. So I can just say this is 0.28 times X. So this right here would be her gross paycheck, or her paycheck that she would get if there were no taxes or deductions or anything like that. But unfortunately, we live in a world where you have to pay taxes and all this other stuff. So what else is coming out? Well, it tells us she has an income tax rate of 35%. Well, 35% of what? Well, 35% of this. This is what she earns before any taxes are taken out. So let's subtract away, I'm going to say 0.35 times this quantity. This quantity is 650. and then plus 0.28x. So this would be the taxes she's going to pay. And then we have something else we have to take out because she has to pay $115.50 for health insurance. So let's take that out. So minus 115.50. Now, at the end of the day, once we have this amount minus this amount minus this amount, we get her take-home pay. Again, that's $5,585. So let's put this on a different line, or maybe I could scooch things down a bit. I'll just put it down here for now, and then we will condense things as we work. All right, so I'm just going to copy the left-hand side here. So you have 650, and then plus 0.28x. And this minus sign is going to come with me as I distribute this. So negative 0.35 times 650, that's going to be negative, or you could just put minus 227.5. And then we're going to have negative times positive, so no, that's negative. 0.35 times 0.28 would give me 0.098, and then times x. And then minus, you have your 115.50. Let me make this a little bit better. And this equals, still can't fit this on this line, so let me just put this down here. So 5,585. Okay, let's combine like terms. So first off, you have 650 minus 227.5, which would be 422.5, and then minus 115.5, which gives me 307. Then I have 0.28x minus 0.098x, which is going to give me plus 0.182x, and this equals 5,585. All right, so from here, let me subtract 307 away from each side of the equation. So this is going to cancel. I'm going to have this 0.182x is equal to 5,585 minus 307. This will be equal to 5,278. Let's divide both sides of the equation by 0.182. So divide over here by 0.182. And so let's cancel this with this. And we'll say x is equal to 5,278 divided by 0.182 is going to give me 29,000. So $29,000 is the amount of goods she sold. So let's erase everything. So coming back here, let's just answer this with $29,000. And just to be clear, this is not the amount of money she made before taking taxes out and other deductions like the health insurance. This is the amount of merchandise she sold. That's specifically what it asked us for, and that's what we let X be equal to. If you wanted to check this, you would go back through and calculate her income and make sure everything works out. So in other words, you know that her income is $650. So $650 plus 28% of this amount. So 28% of 29,000 is 8,120. So 8,120. If you add those together, you get 8,770. So let's just say her pay before any taxes were taken out or any health insurance or anything like that, it's $8,770. Now we know we're subtracting away 35% for taxes. So what's 35% of this number? It's going to be 3,069.5. We're also subtracting away the health insurance, which is 115.5. You can put 0 if you want, or just leave it like this. It doesn't matter. So if you do this in your calculator, 8,770 minus 3,069.5 is going to give you 5,700.5. And then if you subtract away 115.5, you're going to get the 5,585, which is what you have right there. So we have our correct solution here. It's $29,000 for the amount of merchandise that she sold for that week.